hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe.
Welcome to another edition of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I am, of course, Lord Manny Hayes, and I'm joined by...
And I am joined by, and I am Marcus the Grand Finale, baby.
Yeah, I'm still not used to this hosting stuff, but
yeah, and I'm not used to answering. Like I was like, fuck, I don't know how to do this intro at all. I don't know how to do the reverse.
Yeah, wait till 2 months is over. You're going back to hosting.
I don't know, man. This setup you got, this whole like setup and the thumbnails, it's 10 times better than anything I've done. And yeah, you're hosting. You know, you're getting used to hosting or whatnot. But eventually, you're gonna be good at it, and you know, I can retire. I can be like the Batman. Someone has replaced the Batman.
So you can go back to turning up, and then I'm the one hosting.
Yeah, you're the new Eric, and I just come up and be like, yeah, yes, let's do a show. Yeah, wake up and do it, cause that's kind of what's going on here. I take an hour nap and then do a show.
So how are you coping?
I don't know, man. Every day feels more and more close to the apocalypse. Right now, here in beautiful the Bay Area, San Francisco, or the outskirts of San Francisco, the sky looks like it's literally on fire. It is bright orange, and you know, it's terrible due to all these fires. And I'm not a weatherman to update people on wildfires or anything, but goddamn, every time I go outside, it looks like I'm in a Tony Scott, Michael Bay movie, and we're about to have a shootout, and there's a dove flying over, and I'm gonna die any minute.
From the pictures I've seen, it does look very much like a Bad Boys kind of movie.
Yeah,
when you see the pictures.
It looks like Judgment Day, like from Terminator, when Sarah guy's like banging on the gate and the flames goes, you're like, help, and it's like you gotta get burned up. But that's what I'm going to, and no one seems to be fazed by this. Everybody seems to be going about their day, and I'm like, does anybody not see this? Look at the ash in my car.
So we ready to start the show, Marcus? You good?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So let's start. Let's kick off with NXT Takeover. Not even Takeover. Super Tuesday.
It felt like a takeover, though.
It did feel like a takeover. But interestingly enough, they opened up the show, which I thought was going to be the main event. It was Finn Balor versus Adam Cole. I thought it was a very good match, but that's to be expected from these two. How about you?
Yeah, the expectations again from, you know, the previous week, Regal announced that it was going to start the show right away. He said, we're going to just start it from the beginning, and we're going to start. Like, I was expecting it to be in the ring already, just like in the bell ring and the show starts. But I was excited when I got it, full interest, and they went for, it seemed like a half hour or more, something like that. I don't honestly know the time. But it was a great extension to the previous week. And, you know, it was different enough that it was just a singles match, and both men looked great, and it was a phenomenal match, and I was really happy. They reached my expectations that I had for them.
I thought the 1916 from the top rope, that was an incredible way to end that match.
Yeah, because he had already did the coup de grace, and he kicked out, and then you got the is it last shot, right?
Yeah, it's the last shot.
And they both kicked out of that. So you need to elevate what the next move was going to be. And we haven't seen the night. I almost said the 16-19. That's the wrong, different type of story. The 19-16 off the top rope, and he landed it, and Finn won. And we now have a new champion in the DSP.
Yeah. So what I liked about this, especially, was it wasn't like a typical Johnny Gargano match where there was false finishes all over the place. There was a couple, but there wasn't like a million like you normally get.
Yeah, they were all late in the match. Like, because it would seem like both people had a plan. and a game plan to take out the other guy. Like to me, maybe because I've been watching a lot of playoff basketball, it felt like a playoff game in which the teams have fought each other. They've faced each other before, and they kind of know what each other's going to do, and they were kind of counteracting each move, and they were prepared for it. And I thought it was great, and I thought the right person won. Finn Balor should be the champion. I think he's the most stable guy because they're going to have this draft anyway, and I believe Adam Cole and a lot of these other people who aren't champion will be probably called up to either SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah, so my next question was literally, where do we go from here for these two?
Oh, so right now Finn Balor's the champion, and he needs an opponent. For Adam Cole, main roster bound. I'm pretty sure he's done in NXT. I got Finn versus maybe either Ciampa, who can go out to chase after Goldie one more time because he had that run, but it somehow clashed with War Games and everything else, and he never actually really got that title shot again. And they seem to give him that new edge. And Finn is not a heel right now; he's more of a tweener. So I got Ciampa being the new number one contender after.
Well, I'm still I still want this. I've got a new NXT champion. I've got an NXT UK champion just lurking around doing nothing at the moment. Make that happen, guys. Make it happen.
Man, you've been asking for this since they teased it back, in March or April. Yeah. March. When they were teasing feud, and it seemed perfect. It seemed perfect that this was going to happen at the WrestleMania Takeover, and now we are 6 months down the line, and we are still asking for this match. Manny, I believe you need to stop. You have a problem. It is not happening. This is you and Eric, because Eric was begging for Sasha and Bayley for like 8 years. Again,
yeah, he's getting that. He's getting that. I want to be rewarded for sitting through all this.
Yeah. And then what happens? Let's say they fly Walter in or whatever happens with the UK and they handle their business. Who you got? Who do you have Walter going over Finn and getting all the belts again?
I want that to happen, but that's never going to happen. And just as it happens, Marcus, pop.
The current DSPN champion is in the room.
As Wes has called him, the intruder is in the lumberjack.
Speaking of the lumber chat and the DSPN title, who's the new number one contender, man?
So Eric was represented by Adam Cole, and Wes was represented by Finn Balor. So Wes is now the new number one contender and will challenge El Luchador at the next pay-per-view, which I believe is it Clash or Night of Champions?
Clash. It's Clash now. They canceled the Night of Champions, I think, last year.
Yeah.
But, in West's mind, I believe he's going to consider himself the champion. He's already delusional. He's already, I'm rooting for El Luchador. I'm rooting for the streak of an actual long-term champion. Even though I lost to El Luchador and I went back to the back of the line, I am rooting for stability in our title picture. So I'm not rooting against West. I'm rooting for stability. So with Clash of Champions, 2 weeks away? I'm interested to see who comes out on top.
Well, as long as I get another quote from Wes of "I'm a grown ass man and I don't lose," I'll be happy.
Moving on from not moving on from NXT, but later in the show, it was the Battle of the Badasses, Rhea Ripley versus Mercedes Martinez. And I'm going to say this match, and I don't know, maybe I don't know what my expectations were on this match. I thought it was going to be good. I thought it was amazing. I thought they told an amazing story, and it came off like really the battle of the two badasses in the company.
You know what this felt like? It was like two men going at it. These guys were brutal.
Yeah, it was physical. From the word jump, it was just pop. Him with the kills, pop, powerbomb. All these hard slams. And, I thought this match, even though I think that Balor and Cole had, the better match technically because they used no, extra gimmicks, But I'm gonna say the thing that for the week that popped me the most was this Mercedes Martinez Rhea Ripley match because it was just so good. Rob Stone played the role, like everything about it seemed like this was perfect.
So Rob Stone had a really bad night in general.
Yeah.
so he's backstage and trying to attack. I'm assuming damaged the tank that was on a plinth.
Yeah.
And then he gets caught, and then Aaliyah starts running away from Shotzi, who then runs into Io Shirai, which leads to them to basically landing their finishing maneuvers on both Aaliyah and Rob Stone. And then it led to what I think is a little too early, hinting at Shotzi being the next number one contender for Io's title.
Well, I believe Shotzi's going to be a transitional contender. Like, Shotzi isn't winning. By the way, Shotzi has never looked taller in her life. Like, I don't know, she looked humongous. I was like, when does Shotzi grow? Like, she's totally too small compared to Io. But I believe that Shotzi is the transitional / paper contender right now because Rhea Ripley just established that she's the fucking man of that division at the end of that. Like, that is her belt that she's going back. And I believe we're going to get one more match between Io and Rhea before Rhea is finally done with NXT. Because I believe she's main roster bound. The blonde hair was a significant part of the main roster for me.
So I was thinking along the lines of Rhea's main roster bound, but then also is Io. I thought Io's main roster bound.
Yeah. So who? Okay, I mean we're jumping far ahead, like because I believe this is months down the line, not until probably after One More Takeover, where we get Rhea and Io or Shotzi or some kind of dynamic like that. Maybe it's even a fatal 4-way where they throw Aaliyah in there or some shit or Raquel, whatever the case may be. Who will be the new face of the NXT Women's Division?
I think they're probably looking at either Tegan Nox, who I don't think should be, or it will probably be Shotzi.
Yeah, Shotzi would be a good choice. Like, but honestly, I can see Shotzi going up too. That's how, like, I can see Vince going, I really like this shit with the tank and, like, the whole theatrics about her. Like, she is sports entertainment. Like, they have a Ruby Riot, but Shotzi seems like the evolution of Ruby Riot. Like, Ruby's stuck in one spot. But yeah, like, I don't know, because I believe, like, 3 of these women can get caught up, whether it's Rhea, Io, even Raquel Gonzalez or and Mia Yim are probably getting caught up. Maybe, So
yeah,
it's a good problem to have for NXT, but I'm curious where the future is going to go in general. It shits on AEW's women's division. It shits on it.
So to cut you off, the madness that's going in on the Lumber Chat, they're talking about the show Moesha. I never liked that show. I've got to agree with Eric. I never liked that show, but that show is definitely not designed for someone like me.
Well, Eric has a bias anyway, and me and Eric have a bias because, spoiler alert for any history of the Sharpshooters, we were raised with the Norwoods. Brandy Norwood and Ray J lived down the street from us. Eric went to school with Ray J. He hates the Norwoods. He hates them, no matter what they do. Yes, Brandy had 1.3 million people watching them on Versus, but Eric was there probably in pure hate mode. No matter what Brandy said, Monica couldn't lose. That's what it is. So I don't consider Moesha an upper echelon show.
So to close out what happened on NXT, it was more like a good sandwich, but in the middle it was like an allegation sandwich.
Oh man, everybody had them.
So we had the Velveteen Dream go against Tahuti Miles, now going by the Adonis.
Yeah, so that threw me off because when I was watching it, I was going like, he looks a lot like Tahuti Miles, and I think this is a gimmick infringement. And then that was 2 minutes into the match, and then I go, this is Tahuti Miles, god damn it. He changed his name.
Yeah, first to me, this is the first thing I was like, That's Tahuti Miles, right? But I'm talking to myself in my head. I'm like, or am I just being racist?
Am I racist? And Manny, I had the same discussion in my head, going like, Marcus, as a black man, you cannot go and assume this is Tahuti Miles, or without knowing that this is Tahuti Miles. You better look this shit up. And I did, just to make sure, because I knew it was Tahuti Miles.
Yeah, but I looked it up, and there was nothing on his Twitter saying that he's changed his name to something. No. Is it the Astonishing Adonis or something like that?
I forget. It's not Adrian Adonis, but it's something like that. Yeah. But it's I think it's a better name than Tahuti Miles, and he had a really good showing with Velveteen Dream, and it seemed like there were two guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, he got some good offense in.
Yeah, it seemed like I think they're the company is actually a fan of Tahuti Miles, considering how much he was featured on 205 Live. Yeah. And like he's a pretty good character. He's a really good wrestler, and I was impressed with him in this match. But hold on, Kushida, full of hate and anger, came out and attacked Velveteen Dream, and then the Velveteen was attacking his kids.
He deserved it. He slapped the shit out of him a few weeks ago.
What? I don't even remember this. I don't even remember him slapping the shit out. Like, I was just like, what is this about? He is pissed though.
Yeah, so remember when I think it was the Velveteen was eliminated from that triple threat match.
Yeah.
And I think Kushida took the pin.
You're right.
And then at the end of the match, Velveteen just slapped the shit out of Kushida. We didn't see him since.
Yeah, he just went off on a tight. That was Velveteen come back and say I'm a heel, and he just went crazy. You're right. I totally forgot about that. That he became a full psychopath, a whole psychopath, and beat the shit out of Kushida for no reason. And you know, this is to me, Kushida has had these walk-on feuds since he debuted. It's here and there, like with Cameron Grimes and whatnot. And this one actually felt personal, and even though I didn't know what was going on. But Kushida was full of hell. He was 940 pounds full of hell.
So the second allegation was Bronson Reed versus Austin Theory. Another win for the thick boy, now known as the Colossus. I think he's being positioned to be the big deal in NXT when the draft comes and everyone starts moving around.
Yeah, he's Bronson Reed has impressed me a lot, and I think the new nickname, I think that he was given during, whatever, when they started calling him the Colossus, I thought that was a really good nickname, because I'm sure someone has been known as the Colossus, but it fits him so well, and I like it better than the rest of the thick boy. You can take that more serious, and I believe he's going to be a monster in this, and this is the best I've seen Austin Theory in the ring. And I know he's probably had better matches, but he looked good.
Unrelated. I only brought this up because he also got new entrance music. Josiah Williams, the guy that does the rapping to wrestlers' music, he has been re-signed back to NXT. And the moment that tweet went out, I think Keith Lee hit him up and said, "Great, and now I need a new theme music."
Come on, and I saw that, and people seem to be happy with it, and I didn't know who he was, and then when I read stuff, it's like, oh, he did people music. Oh, okay, that guy. I've seen him before on some of the takeovers. What was it, Adam Cole's entrance?
Yeah.
So I really hope he works on the music. If he's the music guy, I hope he does a good job. Wish him the best. Him and Keith Lee and everything that goes on with it. Again, it's to tell the two stories with Austin Theory and Velveteen Dream. I believe hashtag Fire Velveteen Dream has happened again. I think it started trending from where I read, and I was like, Austin Theory is still on the show. This is blatant racism.
Yeah, I know.
Get that black man.
I commented on a few tweets about that. I was like, you can't pick on one without challenging the other. To me, it sounds a bit like all lives matter kind of vibes coming off when people do that.
Yeah, it's definitely race motivated. Like the fact that there is no evidence or anything that has been reported to the law enforcement or even like a civil lawsuit or a major company or major news company reporting this, because I believe in this time of COVID and everything else, without celebrity gossip, TMZ would be all over this shit. Like, oh, what WWE has a pedophile wrestling
Yeah.
in their company? And, the stockholders, they are not stupid enough. Like, there's clearly nothing there for, I'm going to say both parties, that WWE is not risking their company for Austin Theory and Velveteen Dream. And I think it's both stupid to even to call them pedophiles at this point for just accusations. You're everybody on the internet is guilty until they consider you guilty until you're innocent, just because stuff. And I think it's gonna be a shame if he's 100% innocent. I still don't know if Velveteen Dream is innocent and he has all this shit follow him for the rest of his career.
And then I think that's it. So like Roderick Strong defeated Killian Dane. We both don't need to talk about that. And then it was a really bad dinner with the Garganos. I didn't really enjoy that. How about you?
Well, there was parts of it that to me made no sense, but it still made me laugh. Like Johnny having to excuse himself while they sit there alone because he was there just throwing shade, talking about, I dress as a piece of man and all that. And, him just throwing his shade. Or the fact that him telling Candace that I never liked her anyway. I never liked you anyway. You're in this trouble. And, but for me, it always comes down to the meal. It always comes down to what they're eating in the house of the Garganos for me. And today they had spaghetti and salad and all types of weird shit to go along with it.
Spaghetti and sauce. It was just sauce, which was the worst thing. Like there was no meatballs or anything. It was just sauce.
It was spaghetti sauce and a salad that ended up being thrown in Tegan's face and then back. And I was like, is that where we're going with this? And then Johnny losing his TV. Into them going like they broke the TV. And it made me laugh that Tegan just ran off into the night. Like that happened, she just runs out the door and you just see her disappear into the dark. I was like, what did she run to? Like it just didn't seem safe.
So I think that was.
I enjoyed it, but I thought it was useless.
Yeah. So that was the NXT report. How did you feel? How overall? What did you think about NXT?
I thought it was a great show. I thought it was so far for me, it's the best show of the week over all the other wrestling shows. I thought that, like you said, it was a sandwich of great matches in between some allegations and some heat. But the middle part of NXT was enjoyable. I enjoyed the Thatcher vignette of him going over, against the wall, just talking about Priest, just hating on Priest. And I look forward to their match. I enjoyed, both matches with Tahuti or Adonis and the Thick Boy and Kushida coming out. Like, I enjoyed the show. I had fun with it.
Yeah. So moving on to AEW this week. It opened up with a really good tag match. Surprise!
Yeah.
It opened up with a really good tag match.
Yes, a tag match! Another tag match in AEW, which is always Iro. Who's in the match? Jurassic Express. Iro. Who they facing? I forgot who they faced. I don't know why I'm blanking out.
They went against the Lucha Bros.
Yeah, against the Lucha Bros. Oh, okay, they're on TV. Surrounded by their entourage, Eddie Kingston, and everybody else. And this match happened, and it was really good. I'm always entertained by the Lucha Bros. They did a Canadian Destroyer. It takes a star away from it, even though it led to a finish.
Yeah, I didn't like that finish, to be honest. I thought that was stupid. And then it led to this weird promo by Eddie Kingston.
I was lost.
Yeah, so he was basically telling them, because the Lucha Bros were fighting after this in the little shoving contest, and then his whole thing is like, I'm here for you. Where's your little British friend? He's not here. I'm here.
What British friend? What British friend is he talking about?
Puck.
Oh, okay. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, who's he talking about? And somebody was like, where's your British friend?
Death
I
Triangle.
know, but that was like 1 week, and then he got stuck. Like, oh, I couldn't even think about it. I was like, what's he talking about? Who's his French for? And he looks at the blade and goes, where's your wife? And I go, woo! What are we adding to the story? The blade had a wife? Who's his wife? And why is she not with him anymore? Is it because of the blonde hair?
Possibly. And then he also stated that he was never eliminated from the Battle Royal. Look up the rules. Do we need to point out to Eddie Kingston that the rules don't apply in AEW?
NPR had to put in a contract. The rules have to apply to them. That's how bad the rules are followed in AEW.
And then we get Matt Hardy speaking out. We've got his wife that can't shut up, Rebby, in the stands. But she may have said Matt Hardy was stupid. I think she's even more stupid for bringing an infant to the hotbed of COVID.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't against that. It seemed like they were far away from people. I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing. Whatever they're doing, I'm not gonna judge people on their parenting. I don't know, but I will judge this. Matt Hardy had a fucking concussion, and he should have just said it right on about instead of beating around the bush about I need to get well. He was still slurring his words in the ring. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't even.
that. It did sound like a retirement speech, but then he said he's going to take time away to get healthy, and then he wants to challenge for an AEW championship. I'm like, no, please don't.
No, stay away, man. Stay away. And I was more intrigued that they would have let Rebby talk, and they added to the storyline, but it added nothing to a storyline. It added nothing. Like, to me, it was there. It's an apology for continuing the match, but it's not him that should be apologizing. It should be the doctors. It should be Tony Khan. It should be the AEW brass or whoever's in charge who let that match continue. Because you can't protect yourself from yourself. He's an athlete at the end of the day, and you're gonna try to do what you got to do. And I don't even like. I didn't understand them trying to blur the lines of the feud, the story. Like it didn't matter. Go home, Matt. Stay home.
So my favorite thing happened. Marvez got super kicked by the very upset Young Bucks.
Those whiny bitches.
And it's been a long time coming because that guy is the worst backstage guy in the business.
Okay, first of all, previously on SmackDown, and I believe that was the last SmackDown. No, 2 SmackDowns ago, Postman Pierce is trying to get Roman to sign this contract.
Yeah.
He knocks on the door. There's no answer, but he comes back later and continues. Marvez knocks on the door, looks at the camera, knocks on the door. Can't get the Young Bucks, guys. I can't get them. Here's something not coming out. Why even go back to him if he didn't think he could get the interview? And so he gets super kicked in the face. And Manny, my question to you is, they said they fined the Young Bucks $5,000 each for super kicking Marvez. What's that? Do you think it should be more or less?
I think it should be more. How much in kayfabe terms was Nyla Rose fined for putting that referee through a table? Because they were suspended she was suspended as well.
I think she got a $100K fine or something like that.
Yeah, and then she got suspended. I think that it should be the same.
Yeah, who was that who got that ridiculous fine today? Wasn't the Miz or something that got a $250,000 fine?
No, it was Kevin Owens. It was Kevin Owens.
Yeah, Shane did it. By the way, they had a follow-up on that on Raw. But
and then I think Kevin challenged and Vince was literally like, if you carry on, I'll take you through litigation till you're bankrupt.
Yes. So this fine seemed like potato chips to me, considering that WWE issues out $250,000 fines. They attacked the senior citizen, and they are management by Marvez. I'm suing. These dudes are management. They call the shots. Who fined them? Probably themselves. Like, it wasn't Cody. He's too busy on some big ass show he's talking about.
So now we hit to the stage of the peak of my interest for this show. It was all downhill from here for me.
You're a lot harsher on this show than I am.
I wasn't harsh. Do you know when you're watching something? It was after this where it's like, I decided to start doing work. So Kit Sabian announced his best man. We had a few people come out, some big guy, and then Brian Pillman Jr. But then from out comes Miro. Miro is the best man.
The best man, Miro.
So it's once again Miro Day.
Yep.
And he had shots to take at WWE. So he said, 10 years in the same house, under the same glass ceiling, with an imaginary brass ring. Well, you can take that brass ring and shove it up your ass.
Shove it up your ass. Your whole ass. Your whole ass. You know, I was excited to see Rusev, now known as Miro, the best man, Miro. I was excited to see him. And I was like, there we go. AEW got the hottest free agent. Finally, they can say they got the hottest free agent. The legit hottest free agent. They have him. And I'm happy for him. He seemed excited. The crowd seemed to be excited for him. If he's with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, I don't want them to be a tag team. Just maybe if they're going to be a crew, a set of guys. I don't know what you call them.
But Marcus, that's a serious upgrade from Jimmy Havoc.
Yes! Yes! I mean, that is a serious upgrade. Jimmy Havoc, bad guy. In general. Rusev, or Miro, good guy. No issues with it whatsoever. I was excited for him. And then it just, like, I'm happy for people when they leave WWE and they find, other work, other places. But I'm just so bugged. I'm just so over. The first thing I gotta do is take shots at WWE and talk about the brass ring being shoved up my ass. Everybody has done that, and everybody has said that. On the positive side, he's already a step above Matt Cardona because Matt Cardona still has not had any of my time, and it's Matt Cardona coming to make a scene.
So I heard on a separate show that Miro's been signed to a year and a bit deal already, whereas Cardona is currently on a show-to-show basis. And
that's why he shows up randomly.
Yeah, and then if you check out Miro's YouTube channel, he's already put out a video talking about him being in AEW and saying that the stuff he said on the mic he meant. So he's taken it that route. I don't think he's that disgruntled because he didn't seem disgruntled when he was talking about various things in WWE on his channel prior. But I don't feel like he needed to do this on AEW. But like, if it gets him some heat for now, so be it.
That's all it is.
I think this move takes him over $1 million.
Yeah, I feel like that's all it did. It was create. That's all that is. It's create buzz. But I feel like that's just such a cheap way to do it. It's like when Mick Foley goes, "Hey, we're right here live in New York, New Jersey, cheap pop," and it just seemed like I want people to be above that. I want you to be better than this. Is the only way I want people will respond to me if I talk shit about their company. Whether you're Taz or Matt Cardona, or Brody Lee, Rusev, whoever, all you ex-WWE guys, just let them go. Stay out their head. Move on. You're all elite and be all elite, and I'm tired of hearing about WWE on All Elite Wrestling.
So this is the bit where I went back to work. It was Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss versus Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. These two get the win, and then get on the mic and say rather than go back for his AEW title, him and Hager are now going for tag gold.
God damn it, Manny!
This man needs to take a break.
God damn it, Manny! God damn it! Again, someone's going for tag gold. The tag team title is more prestigious than your heavyweight title at this point because no one cares about the heavyweight title. There are 800 different tag teams going after the tag team gold. And I don't understand why. Like, if they're going for it, they have to go through Pride and Powerful, who I believe are the perennial number 5 ranked tag team in the world. Like, they're always number 5.
Normally, if you're ranked number 5, you get a tag title, you get a championship match. Pride and Powerful don't.
And here's the thing: if Jericho wanted to go at the tag team go, I believe the Le Sex Gods were ranked in their tag team. Why erase that for Jake Hager?
So, FTR have a tag team title win celebration party, which was the driest and worst celebration ever. Just a couple balloons on the ring posts.
You gotta say Tony don't do a party.
They need to call Kyrie. They need to call Kyrie Sane to set up a party.
They got a grocery store cake. That's a frozen grocery store birthday cake. It said Chris. Happy birthday, Chris, on that cake. It had nothing to do with FTR.
And then I think we've got their next challengers, which are Jurassic Express.
Was it? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, because they did talk shit about everybody, and it did seem like they stood out.
And then there's the thing that constantly bothers me about AEW.
Yeah.
No one announces matches are going to happen. So the wrestlers don't have any reaction to it. So after the events happen, the match is announced like 2 seconds later, which I find is really ridiculous.
It is. It's always like, whoa, look what Tony Khan done made. Like, I really wish they had a Regal or a Teddy Long just to pull all their tag matches together. But my main issue with this segment, you can't end your segment with your faces eating cake.
Yeah.
They were all cut themselves with cake. And I was like, why are you eating the Evil Hills cake? Like, that's not going to piss me off. You're eating my cake, my $20 cake from a local Vons or Albertsons. I don't care.
So we had a match that was just there. It was Ty Conti versus Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose got the win. Shida came back out, so I'm assuming it's Nyla Rose versus Shida once again. And then that was followed by a interview segment between Kenny Omega and JR, where he's basically saying he's going back into singles wrestling, which is probably the best thing for him because the singles division is very weak at the moment.
Yeah, and because everybody's a tag wrestler. We also had the Hangman Page interview, talk about, he thought those were his friends, and, just because they drink and talk like me, they ain't like me. And
yeah.
I'm an alcoholic, guys.
So the main event was Moxley.
I was going to briefly ask, what did you think of those segments? You could just, the Omega and Page, separate interviews and going their separate ways, kind of maybe trying to still team together. Who knows?
It was different because normally you would try and get them both into the ring together, wouldn't you? And then some hijinks would happen. It was an interesting way to do it. If they don't touch each other for a while, I thought that would probably be good.
Yeah, I like the separation that they were. They both seem like they're in different points. I like the different interviewees. I like the backstage area. Like, I feel like those guys are doing actually good storytelling in their breakup.
Yeah,
like this is a good breakup here.
So we get to the main event. It's Dustin Rhodes versus Brody Lee for the TNT Championship match. And surprisingly, I thought this was a good match.
It was. And, this is Dustin. If we do a year-end award, I believe we need to have the Old Ass Wrestler Award. And I believe Dustin has put himself in contention for being one of the top Old Ass wrestlers in the game. I mean, you got him and Rey Mysterio and, Jericho and MVP and shit. And all these old, and Bobby Lashley, who's apparently freakishly old but doesn't look that old.
Yeah.
But you got the best old guy in the game, and Dustin proved that he's one of the top. This is probably one of my favorite Brody Lee matches, and I was not expecting the show shouldn't have ended with this. And I'm not taking away anything from the match. It was a good match.
No, hold, pause, Marcus. The show didn't end this way because for the last half an hour we kept getting a Cody announcement was coming. In the worst on-screen graphic as well. There's just a line going across the screen. It's like, breaking news, Cody announcement. And I thought, oh, Cody's coming back to wrestling. No, it wasn't. It was about Cody Rhodes being a judge on a talent show, which is bullshit. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but then you brought it up.
Yeah, I waited for this literally because I didn't finish AEW right away. I had to wait. I had to finish it at work on my lunch break, and so I was late coming back for lunch. Cause I was like, I'm not gonna. I mean, the match is over, but I should just finish the show and see what Cody's announcement. And he comes back and there's fire, and he's like something you've never seen before. It's a talent show. It's basically America's Got Talent or UK talent show or whatever the American Bandstand, whatever the shit is used. And him and Snoop Dogg, and I'm going like, I thought he was gonna make an AEW announcement.
So when before it got to like the monster truck bit, I was like, oh shit, is he gonna make an AEW Thunderdome? That's what I thought.
Yes!
That's what I thought. Clearly wrong.
Clearly he went the other direction with this, and it made me go, gas! On TBS. I'm not watching this. I was so upset. I'm never watching that show because I was this upset. Because I was expecting him to show up on the Tron and say, Brody, I'm coming for you, nigga, next week. Like something like that. Like, or he's a massive heel turn, or they sign someone else on the show, or whatever the case could be. Or they're announcing a new show for AEW. Anything. I didn't want this. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't want this. I didn't want that announcement. Because they were advertising it throughout the show. Cody has something really special to say. No, AEW was going to make a move. It really pissed me off. But I enjoyed the main event. I just felt like it just was a very mid-card main event. And it's nothing. I don't want to take away from, Brody or Dustin. It just didn't feel like the main event.
I feel like this is a good way to, if your champion's not going to be in the main event, it's good to have the next tier title to be the main event. I always feel that, or the women's title, but the women's title doesn't feel like it's at that level. Like,
no,
like I don't see it anytime soon. The women are going to main event in a Dynamite or one of their pay-per-views.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, you're right. I don't see it anytime soon, and they're just not on that level of whether you're the WWE women or even the Impact women. They're just not there. They're not equipped to have a main event match.
And that's the end of Dynamite.
Who won the war? Who won the war?
For me,
who won the war this week?
For me, if entertainment wise, I'd give it to NXT. But ratings wise, it's gonna be AEW.
I don't give a damn about the ratings.
Yeah, so I say for me, I got more enjoyment out of NXT.
Yeah, me too. I would consider both shows better than Raw this week, even though I enjoyed the hell out of Domino Kanan and the family Kanan of Murphy to end the show. Both at AEW and Raw both seem like they ended weird to me. Like the Dark Order winning and then Colt Cabana being shoved was the ending of AEW. That was the ending. Like, get out of the ring, Colt. Get out of the ring, Colt. You're not one of us anymore. You cost us a match, Colt. No recap of that happening on the show, I don't think. Like, they never actually showed why they're upset with him. They had to explain it, but whatever. But that was the ending of AEW. It didn't lead to nothing. It was just like, get the fuck out of here, Colt. You're not cool. I'm on top of the world. I'll be the 50-something-year-old man.
So we're both giving it to NXT this week.
I'm giving, NXT hands down. They couldn't beat the tag match and the Battle of the Badasses.
Yeah. So that's the end of the show, guys. Help support the show by checking out our merch page at www.storefrontier.com/DSPN. And obviously, like the video and subscribe.
Yeah.
Have you got anything in closing, Marcus?
Views were up. We're back. And I think it's all to your production, Manny. Hands down, the best production in the game. The best productioner, even though I don't think that's a word. The best productioner and commissioner in the game. I know I haven't talked to Manny or Eric about this, but as I was at work, not thinking about my job as I was doing my job, I was thinking Survivor Series is coming up, and we should do something involving Survivor Series. And I don't know what it is, in which we pick teams, but or whatever the case may be, we figure something out.
I was thinking something else. So also AEW related, they did announce that Mox versus Archer will take place on their anniversary show on the 14th of October 2020. I think we should do a review of AEW, 1 year in review of AEW.
Oh,
What was good? What was bad? What could be better?
yeah, down for that. Let
I
me get
think
my
it's just
list of
5.
stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just like 5 points on like each topic. It doesn't have to be 5 points. It could be less. I know Eric can write an encyclopedia.
Here we go. Let the hate flow through you. I just want to see a river of hate. Eric should get an intro of our river of hate. I don't know if you remember Ghostbusters 2. That should be the interest of Eric of when they had that ooze rolling through the river
Yeah.
of causing all that hate through the city of people trying to kill each other. That is the hate of the Eric the Hater. I almost called Eric the Tater in my head. Eric the Tater.
The tater tot.
Tater tot. But yeah, stay tuned to the network and see our channel and see what's on the horizon. I'm sure things may get back to normal as soon as I get back to normal and I'm off the road and we have more
Oh.
watch-alongs and content.
I'm sure Wes is still around somewhere. In the event you can't make a show, or you're too tired to do a show, Wes has agreed to be the stand-in for you.
Wow. If I knew that, I wouldn't have showed up today, Manny.
Well, he could do today, but like I'm making sure your health is still a number one priority, unlike AEW.
Hey man, if you ever can find a sub, I'm down. Maybe I'll record like a clip and see you can get my clip on the show, and I'll say, hey, blah 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 blah. This was my thoughts or something. But other than that, there's some days like I don't even know how I did today's show.
Yeah,
Like
so what
last night was hell.
Yeah, so just shoot a message just like with enough time so I can give it like Wes enough time to go. Yeah, you need to be on today.
Yeah. And Marcus died. He literally was singing to an ambulance. And then you see me on the IV going like, oh, Miro, day, Miro, day. By the way, how long do you think Lana shows up on AEW? Do you think that's the end of AEW once they sign Lana?
Well, I felt the whole Twitch stuff and the TikTok stuff was while she was being made the scapegoat. I thought that was the final straw that she's gonna get her fired, and then that's when she appears 3 months down the line on AEW.
Yeah, what is Lana doing in the Impact Zone? I don't know. It's not the Impact Zone at all. It's just the Westone brand. It's not the Impact Zone. It's just Daly's place. By the way, I do hate the fans in AEW. I do not trust them not to spread COVID. And also Jericho, the Sturgis apparently was responsible for 250,000 COVID cases.
Nice.
That Jericho's a part of. It was like, yep, good work, guys. Good work.
I think I'm gonna make an update to our Manny and Marcus show shirt. I definitely think it's time we add the FTC onto the actual shirt.
Hashtag FTC.
I'm getting a bit tired of the Chads.
You know what? I mean, AEW is going unopposed on Wednesday nights, and they still can't crack 1 million. And I don't think they cracked 1 million this week. I think it'll be next week because the Rusev effect won't take place until next week.
Well,
it was not announced.
The problem I have with Rusev is it going to be like every one of a single one of the other signings where they have that moment, then they're on dark for the rest for like 4 months.
I don't think you put. Honestly, I would not put him on dark. I would not put him on dark. I couldn't do it. It would hurt my heart to see him on dark. Like, it'd be no reason. Like, what they did with the Murder Hawk, he should not have been on Dark and have now like 500 different victories.
Yeah.
And it took until him to get this chip in this battle royal to become #1 contender. Even though he's like a million, he only has one loss and a million victories. And I was also upset that nobody. I know we're supposed to cut off a time, and I said keep it short. Let's keep it short. But I was upset that there was no repercussions for MJF. Like
I didn't even mention MJF.
he fired everybody. He yelled at that lady who was smiling and made her cry, but he still technically didn't lose that match.
Yeah, so I did try. So we were at 40 minutes, and then we just started to ramble for 10 minutes. But
Yeah.
The AEW did open with Chris Jericho and MJF rolling in together randomly at the same time, and then both were basically sucking each other off.
Yeah.
But they pointed out that MJF was cheated out of that match.
Yeah, but no one's making a ruling on it. It seems like there should be a.
And then there was growing tension between MJF and Wardlow, which very much had a $1 Million Man Virgil feel to it. And and anytime I get that type of vibe from a situation, I'm all in. Pun intended.
It was. Oh man, it was very Virgil. Like, Wardlow's gonna be a man now. But I'm not looking forward to that breakup. I don't see Wardlow surviving on his own. I don't. He's just a big dude, and I don't feel like he has any mic skills. Like, with his facial expressions, shows me how bad his mic skills are.
See, I watched Being the Elite this week, and you had John Silver and the other one trying to recruit him to the Dark Order.
Oh.
Hold on, what is going on in this chat? Wes is saying I'm the captain of the team. Team champ is in full effect. # and new. El Luchador has said, "Where's you a captain like Crunch? You change like a chump."
Honestly, I want to create Survivor Series teams. Ready? It's the Lumberjack versus the Sharpshooters, and I don't know who our 4 or 5 will be, but it should be elimination. I don't know what it is.
What? As in us versus the fans? Us versus the Lumberjack?
Yeah. If we pick the Lumberjack people, like whether it's El Luchador and Wes and Disman or and Grudgeworth or Chris and whoever is in the Lumberjack, I'm just going off the name. I think Jeremy as well. It'd be the Lumberjack versus the Sharpshooters in some type of Survivor Series style elimination. Maybe pick them. I don't know. I don't know what the elimination.
We'll work something up on the Saturday pre-show meeting.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
I think that's the end of the show.
It is.
Once
it
again,
is.
subscribe, and check out our merch pages, and check out the Reddit, guys. If you want to continue the conversation, put it over there. And also send some memes. I love some memes. So
I love memes.
Yeah, so send us some memes. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, check out the merch page, check out the Reddit, and all our socials up there.
Yeah.
And peace.
Peace out. Shout out to Absolute Ricky Starks. I totally forgot. Kind of amazing promo this week, I thought. But that's it.